Hello and welcome to Community Focus, the program that highlights all the issues that matter to you and to your community. Did you know that stroke is the leading cause of disability among adults? We're going to learn the symptoms, prevention, and free services that are going to be offered very soon here in the Houston area with the UT Health Stroke Center. And it is my pleasure to welcome Dr. Elizabeth Noser to the program. Doctor, thank you for being here.
Ariana, thanks so much for having me today.
Doctor, let's start by defining a stroke.
So a stroke is a brain attack. A stroke occurs when there's decreased blood flow or no blood flow to a part of the brain. And when that happens, those brain cells die. And by definition, dead brain cells is a stroke.
What are some of the symptoms or behavioral issues that we have, lifestyle issues perhaps, that contribute to a stroke?
So the number one risk factor for a stroke is high blood pressure. So it's really important that adults know that they should be seeing their primary care doctors at least once a year and being checked for high blood pressure. And even more importantly, when people know they have high blood pressure, they have to take their medications and they have to follow a certain diet and lifestyle to make sure their blood pressure is under control.
And are there any other contributing factors such as diabetes, high cholesterol? How is it correlated to heart disease?
Sure. So when we think about the risk factors for stroke, let me run that list for you. So it's high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high sugars or diabetes. It's also our nutrition or eating on a day-to-day basis and physical activity. So in terms of physical activity, the way that someone can reduce their risk of stroke and heart attacks is to do at least moderate physical activity, 30 minutes a day, say 5 days a week. Now that sounds easy, but given the busy lives most people have, that's actually really hard to do. And in terms of nutrition, a lot of people know what they should be eating. They know fruits are good, vegetables are good. They know they should have smaller proportions, but here in Texas, everything's is Texas-sized. And a lot of people just don't follow the diet that they're supposed to do.
Doctor, are there small changes that we can make starting today to prevent stroke, such as perhaps parking the car a little bit further in the parking lot, maybe eating less sodium?
You said it. So when people make big sweeping changes, so I wake up one day and I said, you know what, I'm going to start a diet. I'm going to eat perfectly every day. You know what, the success there is not very high. So actually, I'm a real proponent for small changes. So you hit it when you said decrease sodium. So sodium is a big one. When you have a lot of sodium in your diet, that increases blood pressure, makes you retain fluid. So just decreasing the amount of sodium. For example, try not to add sodium to your meal. The reality is most of the food that we get when we go out to restaurants already has plenty of sodium. The other thing would be small things like, you said it again, parking the car further away instead of right next to the opening of the building. Also, taking the stairs, that's a big one. Many of us work, on the third, fourth level. We can work on the second story, and we still tend to take the elevator instead of actually walking those stairs. So doing small things like that can always help. And then you work your way up to 30 minutes a day of moderate exercise, 5 days a week. And that should be a goal over time.
That's funny because sometimes I've seen people at the gym take the elevator.
Right? When they're at the gym to work out.
Exactly. Okay, doctor, let's get back on a serious note. When we are with a loved one and they may be experiencing a stroke, how can we tell if they are and what can we do to help them?
So, Ariana, this is one of the most important messages that I really want to get across to the viewers. And that's the message is the FAST acronym. So we think of the word FAST when we want to tell if we're having a stroke or our loved one, the person we're with, is having a stroke. So FAST stands for face. So you look at the person's face. Does it look droopy on one side or the other? Ask them to smile and you can really tell if it's droopy. A is for arm. You can tell your loved one, bring up both arms, and if they have a little bit of weakness, one arm will drift down. If they have a lot of weakness, they won't even be able to bring that arm up. S is for speech. Have them repeat something really simple. Today is a sunny day. Sometimes if they're having a stroke, they can't get the words out at all, or it's very slurred. So if they have any of those symptoms, just one, face droopy, arm weak, or speech is not normal, then T is time to call 911. The reality is strokes are time dependent in that the sooner you're treated, the better chances of a better outcome. During an acute stroke, you have about 1.9 million brain cells dying every minute. So the quicker someone recognizes stroke symptoms, fast, the quicker they call 911, the sooner their loved one's going to get to the emergency department, get evaluated, and get treatment.
UT Health Center is going to host a really fun event that's also going to provide these free services. Tell us about that event.
So we have a large-scale community outreach and education event, and it's at Discovery Green on May 2nd from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And it's called the Stomp Out Stroke Festival, and it's our way to really reach out to the community to increase stroke awareness and actually good old-fashioned brain health. So it's, again, at Discovery Green, May 2nd from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. We'll be providing about $700 worth of free health screenings, and that includes blood pressure, glucose, cholesterol, 12-lead EKGs looking at the heart rhythm. It includes carotid Dopplers, so ultrasound of the blood vessels in the neck to look for hardening of the arteries in the blood vessels that feed the brain. We'll also have screenings on assessments to screen you for obstructive sleep apnea, for memory impairment. In addition to the health screenings, we're going to have different types of educational booths. So learning about brain facts, learning about healthy brain aging. That's one of the new booths educational booths we're adding this year. So what can you do as you age to keep your brain healthy? In addition to that, we have a kids zone where we have really fun kids activities to really engage kids and start teaching them at a young age about a healthy brain and what does that mean. We also have lunch for the first 500 participants who come through, and lots of family fun activities, from live ice sculpting with Reverend Butter to ballet folklorica, dancing, to an Asian dance group that we're going to have come in.
So it sounds like it's an event for the entire family. Do people need to register in advance?
So if you register in advance, when you get there, you're going to get in much quicker. And so we'd like to see everybody register. You can go to strokefestival.org and register there online. And if you want further information about the event, the specifics on the program, the services that are going to be provided, what groups will be there, you can go to the website and find out that information as well.
Doctor, thank you so much for being here and for sharing such important information.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
This has been Community Focus. We've been speaking with Dr. Elizabeth Noser of UT Health Center, and she is here telling us great information about the Stomp Out Stroke Festival that will be held Saturday, May 2nd from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Discovery Green. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next episode of Community Focus.